Hi everybody, it's Auntie Kay, Yard Sales Arena. We just got back from fabulous couple of estate sales and I picked this thing up. And this is the back of it. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to guess what this is the back to. It's big, it goes all the way down to the floor and then it comes back. And this is the back of it. That's a little bit of a hint up there. Okay, here's another hint for you. There's this long bag that hangs inside of it. I was hoping they could see and the bag is actually, looks brown. At one point in time it was what? Seersucker, I think is what you call that, white and blue with the blue stripes. But it's soaked in oil. What could it be? Okay, here's your last clue. This is the front of the item. And if I go up any further, you can see what it is. Your weight and fortune 1 cent, no springs. This is a Waltling scale from the 1930s or the 1940s. Let me close the front.
Where do we put the key?
That thing on the back that you saw was the money bag, and unfortunately people have obviously transported this on its back, which causes the little thing that holds the oil back in there to leak, and the money bag is kind of soaked in oil. I'll probably try to wash it or make another one. But anyway, this is a really neat old scale. It works. It needs to be calibrated. It weighs me at 9. Yeah, we have the keys, both of the keys. The mirror on the front is intact and in good shape. It does need to be painted. You have the porcelain up here that retains the color much better than the metal does down here. So the sides and this little front panel need to be painted, but we will do that. And what else did I want to tell them? Oh, so the weight just needs to be calibrated. And the fortune, it looks like it's a belt issue. The belt needs to be tightened up or shortened, or we might need to replace that. So anyway, I got this. I love it. It's really going to be a relatively easy fix. These guys, without the key, they don't work. The mirror is missing, sell for $600 and up. I plan to keep this. You might remember that I collect scales, so I'm going to use this as my bathroom scale. And what woman doesn't like a scale that weighs her at 95 pounds? But anyway, that's it. I guess I should tell you what I paid. I paid $250 for this. I saw it online at an estate sale run essentially by the family, and I got over there Friday. First thing was the first person in and said, I looked at it, jumped on it, saw that there weren't a lot of problems, and I said, I'll take it. And a friend of mine came in shortly thereafter and asked somebody how much it was, and apparently one of the other salespeople didn't know it was sold, and they told him it was $250, and he said, I'll take it. And I said, oh no, you won't, because I already bought it. Anyway, I'm really happy with that. I'll show this to you once we get it painted. I know it's filthy. I just have to tell you, it is filthy, filthy, filthy. But all of that, and the lighting in here is not very good. But all of that black stuff there on the porcelain will clean up. And I think that's a brass plate down there at the bottom. Anyway, it's a really neat scale. All right. Okay, here's another item that we picked up at another estate sale today run by the tag team. You can see it's a neat old park bench. It's cast iron and some kind of wood, and it has this neat insert that says delicious and refreshing, drink Coca-Cola, 5 cents at fountains and in bottles. I think this is vintage. I don't think this is an antique, and I don't know if you can tell, it's missing a board here, and it definitely needs to be sanded and re-stained, but I paid all of $35 for that. So I'm excited about that. It doesn't need that much work. Most of the work I can do. The replacing of the board, Uncle Vinty will probably have to assist me with, but I think this will look great. And if I don't keep it, I'll have to check online, but I think I can get pretty good money for something that says Coca-Cola and is going to look great. Hi everyone, it's Indie K, Yard Sales Arena here with some more of our yard sale finds for the weekend of June 7th and 8th. And we're actually going to go back to a couple of the estate sales tomorrow for the half off day and see what's left. Okay, I'm going to start off with some interesting items. A funky Victorian style lamp, a vintage Westinghouse mixer with a juicer and grinder attachment, and a vintage, monogrammed manicure set. I came home Friday from work and these were on my porch. I figured some of my neighbors dropped it off, but I haven't been able to figure out who did it yet. But then again, a lot of people know that we buy and sell old vintage items, so no telling who dropped it off. But I think that's great. Pretty soon I won't have to go out at all. Stuff will just come to me. All right, at the estate sales today, this little guy, he was filthy. He was in the kitchen, but I picked him up. He's made by Lipper and Man Creations in Japan. So he's from the 50s. He's numbered 15 out of 66. And I checked online, and he's actually fairly rare. These Lipper and Man porcelains are somewhat collectible, and he sells for around $30. So woohoo, can't beat that. Oh, I paid $5 for him. Then this bottle back here, it says Ushquibach blended Irish whiskey. I got a bottle of this a while back with the whiskey in it, which I still have. One of these days I'm going to actually post that on eBay and sell it. They sell for quite a lot. However, the bottle, or I guess you would call it jug, in and of itself sells for around $20. I paid 50 cents, so I did pretty well. The thing in the back is just something, Sirocco wood, Syracuse, New York. It's made out of resin, so it's not wood. I paid $1 for it. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Couldn't pass it by. Okay, here we have what looks like a neat bronze statue of a cowboy riding a horse, but it's faux bronze. I don't know if it's resin. Resin's usually heavier than this, but anyway, it says hand painted. I paid $2 for it. Couldn't pass it up. I'm thinking, $15, maybe $20 in the shop. This I love. I love old clocks. This is a Revere Telechron motored clock. From the serial number, we were able to date this. It's 1935 to 1939. It's a neat old clock. It wasn't that long ago that these clocks were selling for just a few dollars, but recently there's been an increased interest in them, probably because they just keep on working. They're like the Energizer Bunny. This clock works fabulously, and you know, it's from 35 to 39. So gotta love that. It's a neat looking clock. In the back, an interesting print. Can you guys see that? I know the clock's kind of in the way. This is, the title of this is Mamie in the Garden. It's from Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens. The artist here is Arthur Rockham, and the date on this is 1906. Arthur Rockham was a really well-known book illustrator from England in the early 1900s, probably early to mid. And this is a fabulous old print. It's actually a print inside plastic that they stuck in this funky frame. So I'm going to take it out of there, and I think I can sell that easy for, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. Okay, I have some more to show you. Hold on. Okay, some other items that I picked up were this 10-inch Jackson back saw. It's a vintage saw, and they actually threw it in. I think it's worth about $15 to $20. When I was at this particular estate sale, I ran into a guy named Ernie, the saw man. He collects saws. He has over 700, and he showed me a really neat trick. I couldn't see any information on this blade, but there was. He showed me how you could, did I flip that over? to the right thing? No, I'm on the trees. I went the wrong way. Oh, there it is. He showed me how you could just take a piece of cardboard and wipe across it, and voila, there is the name. It worked like a charm. So anyway, that's a good tip. He also told me that I should be looking for Distin number 15 saws in good condition. Okay, so I essentially got that saw and this coping saw, this Craftsman coping saw, for free because I bought a couple of other relatively pricey items. One was this really neat Enterprise fruit, wine, or sausage press. You can use it to press essentially anything. I know it looks kind of gicky right now. That's because we just oiled it. I'm probably going to keep this. I think it's a really neat piece, and when these are painted, they look fabulous. I paid $25 for this one. In this condition, it's worth about $100. But if it's painted, if it has the original paint and the logo that would be on here, they're $200 and up. So our plan, oh, Uncle Vindy's going to show you it actually works. We could use it. We plan to paint it. It might be challenging to get the logo correct on there, but we're going to give it a stab because I just think it's fabulous. Another item that I got was this Aladdin Blue Flame kerosene heater. It's also vintage. I paid $20 for it. For my $20, I also got the instruction booklet, 3 replacement wicks, and there's one on here. You see that? That's a wick. What do they call it? Wick cleaner. It cleans the burnt part off of the wick. Then the last thing I got were 3 of these folding rulers. I just like those. I paid 50 cents for those, and I got one of them for free. But this one's kind of cool. This is a Lufkin, and it adds this 6-inch slider piece out. Can you push that back in, Uncle Vinty? It slides right back in. Kind of gives you an extra 6 inches. Also, a lot of people slide this out and put their name in there, huh? Then that way you know it's your ruler. Okay.